Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Standing position. Grab weights if you want to. Okay, so just for a minute, I guess let's do it no weights, just for one or two rounds and see how it feels. And then if you're feeling like really good to go, you'll grab some weight. So it's going to be slow motion squat. You're going to inhale down into a little squat, exhale, come up, and then do a little dip over to one side, a little dip over to the other side. And then if you're feeling like, yeah, like let's bring the heat right away, grab your heavy hand weights and then take it into that nice slow motion squat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Slow motion squat, inhale down, exhale up, dip to one side, dip to the other side. And if you can, you'll slow your exhale down so that the exhale comes with the rising up and your side bend, and then the inhale as you sink down into your squat. And then kind of tune in here. Go nice and slow so you can pay attention to how your body's feeling. How's your back? How's your knees? How's your ankles? How do your feet feel? Inhale down, exhale up, and side bend. Ten seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, for this next round, put your weights down for a moment, and then you may choose to go with light weights. That's going to just be depending. So we're going to start to find a slightly wider stance. It's going to be a pivot and a pendulum swing of the arms. So arms will swing out nice and wide, pivot and twist, get the spine moving, get your hips moving, get your feet pivoting, and then ask yourself, how's this feeling? Does it feel good? And I'll set the timer if you want to. Grab a light set of weights. Since it's a little bit in the shoulders, we want to go light here just to make sure everything feels good, and still consider this a nice warm-up minute. So push yourself only to the degree that feels good and challenging for your body this morning. And then kind of notice here, how do your shoulders feel? How's your back feeling? How is your energy level? You know, I always like to use that caution. If you're not getting good restful night's sleep, then you want to go mindfully into your work so that you don't push yourself to places where you might not have good control, or it might just not feel beneficial. Rest is very important. Nourishment is very important. Exercise is very important, but all of those things can have various levels or degrees and depths of work so that it makes sense to how you're feeling today. 3 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, if you were holding on to hand weights, set them down. It's going to be, so find your way to the end of your mat. We're going to tiptoe walk forward. So lift your heels, tiptoe walk forward. We're going to roll down, tuck your chin, roll down, bend your knees as much as you need to, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up, and then a light little jog to the back of your mat, hands to the back of the head, a little hip hinge, push your butt back, come back up, tippy toe walk forward, and that's the work. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Tiptoe walk forward, tuck the chin, roll your way down, nice and slow, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll back, a light jog backwards, just a little springiness to the ankles and the feet, hands to the back of the head, hip hinge, come back up, and then tippy toe walk forward. We've got 1 minute on the clock, but really you've already done 20 seconds of work. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now grab the heaviest weights that you can stand. It's going to be a deadlift with a bent over row, but it's just a little bit of a different pace of the work. So load up at the front of the body, palms facing in, feet about hip width distance apart. Push your butt back, do your hip hinge, come back up to that halfway point, do a row, lower the arms, and then push down into the feet to rise up. So we're going to pause at that halfway point, do your row. If you do a hip hinge and you don't go all the way down to the ground, go to where your halfway point is, even if it's slightly more upright. So go only to the places where you get a good sensation of work, feeling strong through the backs of the legs. Hip hinge, push your butt back, come halfway up, a narrow row. So we scrape the elbows and then push into the feet, rise back up. Yes, nice job. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time. Awesome work. Okay, stick with those heavy weights. Now step your feet to a nice wide distance. We're going to do that. Pick it up, put it down, put it down. So you're going to take your hand weights with you, place them down, empty hand, pick it up. And then as you pick it up, drive your elbow back and up towards the ceiling. And then find a pace that feels good to you. If you're going with a nice heavy load, you might choose to go just a little bit slower. And then you take a wide stance that makes good sense to your hips, inner thighs, and knees. So you don't have to be as wide as mine is, or you could be wider, all things depending. It's just what feels really strong and stable in your body. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, walk your legs in, give them a little shake, grab your looping resistance band. We're going to place the looping resistance band around our feet. So you're going to just kind of step your feet up a little bit so you can get it around the middle of your feet. And then once you've got it in the middle of your feet, we're going into some looping resistance band, high knees. So you can grab hand weights, load up at the shoulders if you want to, but most of this work is coming out of the hip flexors. Go for speed if you want a little bit of warmth in the body. Go for slow and controlled if you're working on your balance strength and your hip flexor strength. If you get here and you're already like, I'm off balance, stand by a wall, use your handhold, get the work that you need this morning. And then even as you come up nice and high with those knees, don't let the band snap you back down. So you go up and down with that same amount of control. Nice job. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to move the looping resistance band up just so that it's around the ankles. So scooch it up just a little bit. It's going to be a half calf raise and a little bit of a slalom arm. So we're going to bend our elbows, keep them tucked in at the sides. We're going to lift the heels, drive the elbows back, and then lift the elbows up just a little bit, lower the heels. Lift the heels halfway, drive the elbows back, lower down, and the elbows come slightly forward. So we're keeping a nice 90-degree bend and the arms are just pivoting forward and back. Think like you're driving your stakes through the snow. So do that nice little push back. We've got 1 minute on the clock and it's that half calf raise. So we're not going full range of motion with the calf raise. We're only going up to that halfway point and then lowering with control. The looping resistance band is there just to kind of keep a little sense of connection down at the ankles, but it's not really doing much in the way of work. So just kind of tune in and notice just that little bit of feedback of feeling the ankles. Nice job. Fifteen seconds left. And time. Awesome. Okay, hang on to those weights. Keep the looping resistance band as it is. But now we're going to do a slightly wide staggered stance. We're going to take our hand weights. We're going to reach down, touch to the ground, and then shoot like you're shooting a basketball. So it's a little bit of rotational movement, but not too much. Step your feet as wide as you like. We got 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. You can make this cardiovascular if you want to, or you can go nice and slow. So find the depth of work that feels the best to you this morning. Ten seconds left, and then we switch our feet. All right, when you're ready, switch your feet, stagger your stance, bend down, touch, and then give a little shoot. Nice job, 10 seconds left. And time, beautiful work. Okay, step your feet to that more even neutral stance. We're going into some tricep kickbacks. So just a little bit of a crouch position, elbows tucked against the side of the body, kick the arms back, bend and bring them back in. We got 1 minute on the clock. Go for the heaviest weights that you can, even if that means somewhere along the way, you switch over to your lighter ones. Keep a slight sense of firmness in your belly so that your back feels supported. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time. Nicely done. All right, rise up just enough. Now we're going to take it, we're going to call it jaywalking, or it might feel a little bit more like a C to you, but keep your looping resistance band around your ankles. And it's going to be like you're making a J shape or a C shape. So you're going to step forward and then scoop out to the side. Step forward, scoop out to the side. So there's a little bit of a kick out from the inner thighs to find that little shape. And then so we're going to step forward. And then once you get to the front end of your mat, same principles apply. You're going to step back and scoop it out. So you're going to move forward and back. We got 1 minute on the clock. Once you've got that going on, if you want just a little bit more, you're going to grab your hand weights, hold them up and overhead in a nice high waitress carry. Go for the work that feels good. If you get here and that looping resistance band is creating too much, then you can take it off. You always want to find the work that feels good and beneficial. You don't want to feel frustrated in your workout. You're already halfway there. Fifteen seconds left. You got this. And time. Beautiful. Okay, lower your arms. Kick that looping resistance band out from around your feet. Set your weights down for a moment. And now we're going to do a little jump and switch with our feet. But the focus, or hopefully the focus, if you like, is to find a soft landing. So you're going to land toe, ball, heel. So you're just going to do a little jump, but land softly. Do a little jump, but land softly, and focus on that foot feel. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Do the work at your pace. If you're like, I just want to get hot and sweaty, jump as much and fast as you want to. But if it feels good to do so, we just want to build that control and strength in the feet and the ankles. Land toe, ball, heel. Softly land. So even as you soften, your knees soften as you land. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Fifteen seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, grab your light set of weights. It's going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. So we're going to find a little bit of a lunging position, but the back heel is going to be down on the ground. And then we're going to move forward and then straighten the legs. So we're going to load up at the chest, lean forward, let your front knee go past the toe, reach your weights out. And then as you come back in, push them down, straighten your legs. Bend your knees, bring it up to the chest, push forward, come back, push down, straighten your legs. 30 seconds on this side. Take the work at your pace. And then for some of us, that forward push might feel like a lot. So only go out as far as you feel good and strong and comfortable. Yes, nice job. All right, the next time you come up into that straight position, switch your feet, load up again, and away we go. Bend the knee. Maybe the knee comes past the toe, maybe not, just all things depending. Straighten the legs, push the weights down. You've got it. And time. Nicely done. Okay, step your legs together. Give everything a little wiggle in the shake. We're coming down onto our back, but before we come all the way down, we're going to take our looping resistance band and put it around the center of our feet again. And we're doing those hip rotations. So looping resistance band around the center of the feet about hip width distance apart. Once you've got that set up, come down onto your back, and it's going to be hip rotations. So you're going to turn the feet out and then bring them back in with control. Hopefully you'll start to feel the work happening up in the front pocket area and up at the tops of your hips. So rotate the feet out, bring them back in so the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, but see if you can start to feel that action happening up in your front pocket area. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Do the work at your pace. If you're rehabbing and building strength in this place, it may feel better to do an alternating, like left and then right. But if it feels good and you've already got some good strength built up there, do both feet at the same time. 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, sit up just enough so that you can move the looping resistance band up. So now it's going to be up around like the middly meaty part of the calf muscle. So we want to get as much tension and control from the looping resistance band around the bottom half of the legs. Once you're there, you may choose to load up. It's going to be a loaded dead bug, but most of the work's going to happen at our feet. So have your hand weights nearby so you can grab them if you want to load up at the top half of the body. Come back down onto your back. First, find your dead bug position. We're going to swing, alternating, swing the knees or swing the feet out. So just to turn myself so you can see, one leg is going to turn out, the other leg is going to turn out, and then we're going to alternate with a reverse fire hydrant, a reverse fire hydrant. So you're going to swing the foot out, swing the other foot out, swing one leg out, swing the other leg out. So alternate between those two. And then once you feel like, okay, I know what all of that is going on, then add the hand weights and load up at the chest, but only if that feels good. If you feel like it's better to find all the work at the bottom half of the body, you might actually choose to keep your fist between your knees as you do those swing outs, and then hold them out in place as you do those reverse fire hydrants. So find the work that feels the most beneficial. For some of us, it's going to feel a little bit stronger and stable to have the low back pressing into the ground. For some of us, it's going to feel a little bit better to have the slightly natural curve of the back. And then for some of us, it's actually going to feel better to curl up just a little bit more, curl up the head, neck, and chest. So make sure your center feels strong. You're finding the work that makes the most sense to you today. Nice job. 7 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, float your feet down to the ground. We're going to take it right into some curl ups. So weights or no weights will be totally up to you. Start by just finding your hands alongside your hips. Scoop your hands like you're trying to reach your hands towards your heels or reach your fingers towards your heels, and then lower back down. Exhale as you curl up. Inhale as you lower down, and you may choose to take that little tiny pause at the top just to feel that contraction of the abdominal muscles. And then maybe when you come all the way down, you do a complete reduction of effort. So curl up, exhale, inhale, lower down. The pauses are up to you. You might be like, no, I'm firing on all 8 cylinders today and I'm going to keep going. Go for some cardio. So you do the practice that feels the best to you this morning.